Very good afternoon. You're watching the Midday News on Rajya Sabha television. My name is Aishwarya Kapoor. Here are the headlines. Anyone who picks up the gun in the valley will be eliminated, says the Indian Army. Urges Kashmiri mothers to persuade their sons to surrender. Top Jaish leaders behind Pulwama attack eliminated within 100 hours of the attack. Prime Minister Modi lays a foundation stone for Guru Ravidas' birthplace development project in Varanasi. Asserts Saint Ravidas is the site of faith and reverence for crores of people. Flags off the first ever diesel to electric locomotive engine. Also lays the foundation stones of projects worth several hundred crore rupees. Hearing in the Kulbhushan Jadhav case to continue at The Hague for the second day today. India accused Pakistan of breaching the Vienna Convention and using Jadhav as a propaganda tool on the first day of hearing. Tribals, the best example of India's unity in diversity, says Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu. Asserts government's commitment of a Sabka Saath Sabka Vikas can only be fulfilled with the upliftment of India's tribals. And India will see super snow moon today. 2019's biggest and brightest moon will peak at 9:23 p.m. Day also marks a fifth bathing ritual at the Prayagraj Kumbh. Lakhs of devotees and tourists to take holy bath on the occasion. The top story this afternoon, the mastermind of the suicide bombing that killed 40 CRPF jawans in Pulwama last week was eliminated within 100 hours of the terror attack. Now, this was informed in a press conference by the Indian Army, CRPF and JNK Police in Srinagar today. Lieutenant General KJS Dhillon of the Indian Army sent out a strong message saying that anyone who picks up the gun in the valley will be eliminated. He also requested the mothers of Kashmiri militants to persuade their sons to surrender. Inspector General SP Pani informed that the investigation is at a very advanced stage and further details will be revealed in due course of time. The top security officers, however, named the mastermind of the Thursday's attack as a Jaish-e-Mohammed commander Kamran, and that the attacks were backed by Pakistan and the ISI. Zulfikar Hassan, IG Operations of the CRPF, said that a helpline has also been set up that has been helping Kashmiris across the country in the wake of the Pulwama attack. On Monday, 3 Jaish-e-Mohammed terrorists were killed in a 16-hour encounter in Pulwama district, about 12 kilometers from the site of 14th of February attack. An army major and 5 others were also killed.
Ever since 14th of February convoy attack on CRP, we were tracking the top JEM leadership in Kashmir Valley. As you are aware, that convoy attack was carried out by Jaish-e-Mohammed of Pakistan, and it was being controlled from Pakistan with active support of ISI and the Pakistan Army. The local commanders, most of them Pakistanis, who were in charge of controlling, coordinating, fabricating and execution of this operation, were the main people of the JEM top leadership in the valley. Since this leadership of the JEM was on a track, ever since this incident happened, and day before night, at midnight, on specific information, we hit this module. And I'm happy to inform the country that in less than 100 hours, we eliminated the JEM leadership in the valley, which was being handled by JEM from Pakistan. Through you, I would request all the mothers of Kashmir to please request their sons who have joined terrorism to surrender and get back to the mainstream. Anyone who has picked up gun in Kashmir will be eliminated unless he surrenders.
Investigational details of the case will be shared with you as the investigation progresses, and the other findings like the details regarding the recovery and other details we will also share with the media as and when the investigation progresses.
I would like to highlight one phone number, that is 14411 of the Madad Kar. Our helpline has been helping Kashmiris all over the country in the wake of this attack, and I'm happy to inform that a lot of Kashmiri students have approached this helpline for help all over the country. Everything is under control, and all Kashmiri children studying outside have been taken care of by the security forces all over the country. But still, if there are any issues, I would appeal to them to approach this number for any help they require. Thank you.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a visit to his Lok Sabha constituency Varanasi today, where he laid the foundation stones of several projects. Prime Minister Modi laid the foundation stone for Guru Ravidas Birthplace Development Project at Sir Govardhan. As part of the project, a grand park will be constructed with the statue of the seer. Prime Minister Modi also paid homage to Guru Ravidas. Speaking on the occasion, PM said that Saint Ravidas is the site of faith and reference for crores of people. The Prime Minister added that Guru Ravidas envisioned an India where there is no discrimination and where everyone is taken care of. He further said that his government was working on this principle in the last 4.5 years for the betterment of the people and for the country's development.
सभी भक्तजन पहले चरण में लगभग 50 करोड़ रुपए की लागत से विस्तारीकरण और सुंदरीकरण की योजना बनाई गई। इसके तहत यहां के लिए जो बीएचयू से सड़क आती है उसको सजाया संवारा जाएगा। 12 किलोमीटर का एक और रास्ता बनेगा। गुरु रविदास जी की कांस्य की प्रतिमा बनेगी। एक पार्क का निर्माण होगा, कम्युनिटी हॉल बनेगा और दूसरी जन सुविधाओं का निर्माण भी होगा। यानी इस प्रोजेक्ट के पूरा होने के बाद आपको और यहां आने वाले लाखों श्रद्धालुओं को एक प्रकार से सारी सुविधाएं एक ही जगह पर मिल जाएंगी।
Prime Minister Modi also flagged off the first ever diesel to electric converted locomotive twin engine of 10,000 horsepower at DLW Varanasi. He also interacted with the Divyangs at the DLW campus in Varanasi. PM Modi also inaugurated the Madan Mohan Malviya Cancer Institute at Banaras Hindu University, where he also interacted with the beneficiaries of Ayushman Bharat scheme. The PM also laid the foundation stone of projects worth several hundred crores in the city. And Guru Ravidas Jayanti is being celebrated today. Saint Ravidas was a 14th century saint and reformer of the Bhakti movement in North India. Guru Ravidas Jayanti is celebrated on Magh Purnima, which is the full moon day in the Hindu calendar month of Magh. President Rajnath Kovind greeted the nation on the occasion. In a Twitter message, President Rajnath Kovind said that Guru Ravidas was among those who led the Bhakti movement in northern India and gave the message of peace, harmony and fraternity. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu also paid tributes to Saint Ravidas on his birth anniversary. And Prime Minister Modi also paid homage to Saint Ravidas. In a Twitter message, he said that the precious and indelible message given by Saint Ravidas for harmony, equality and social empowerment will continue to inspire people. And in a significant political development ahead of the Lok Sabha polls, the top BJP leaders will arrive in Tamil Nadu today to announce the Rainbow Alliance comprising of the AIADMK, PMK and DMDK in the state. According to sources, the party president Amit Shah and the party's Tamil Nadu election in charge, Piyush Goyal, will be in Chennai today to finalize the alliance with the ruling AIADMK, which had swept the 2014 Lok Sabha polls in the state by winning 37 out of the 39 seats on its own. Now, Amit Shah would formally induct the ruling AIADMK into the National Democratic Alliance and declare the seat-sharing arrangement. Now, this comes a day after BJP and Shiv Sena announced that they will contest the Lok Sabha elections in Maharashtra together. Both the parties announced their seat-sharing pact in the state on Monday. Of the 48 Lok Sabha seats in Maharashtra, the BJP will contest on 25 seats, while Shiv Sena will fight on 23 seats. Remember, in the 2014 Lok Sabha election, the BJP had contested 26 and the Sena had fought on 22 seats. Both the parties have also agreed to go 50-50 on seats for the assembly elections in the state that are due later this year. The announcement regarding seat sharing was made by Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis in the presence of BJP President Amit Shah and Shiv Sena Chief Uddhav Thackeray.
25 वर्ष युतीमध्ये एकमेकांसोबत सातत्याने महाराष्ट्राच्या आणि देशाच्या राजकारणात वावरले आहे. काही मुद्द्यांवर आमच्यामध्ये मतभेद झाले असतील, परंतु सैद्धांतिक दृष्ट्या हे दोन्ही पक्ष हिंदुत्ववादी पक्ष आहेत आणि त्यामुळे आमचा मूळ विचार हा मात्र सारखा राहिलेला आहे आणि म्हणूनच इतके वर्ष आम्ही एकत्रितपणे महाराष्ट्राच्या आणि देशाच्या राजकारणात सोबत राहिलो. मागच्या विधानसभेच्या निवडणुकीच्या वेळी काही कारणांनी
And India is likely to strongly raise the issue of Pakistan-sponsored terrorism with Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman during his two-day visit beginning today. The Crown Prince earlier was in Islamabad on Sunday at the start of his tour of South Asia. He returned to Saudi Arabia on Monday. New Delhi had reservations over his coming to India from Pakistan. And ahead of the visit by the Crown Prince, Saudi Arabia's Minister of State for Foreign Affairs, Adel Al-Jubair, on Monday said that Riyadh will try to de-escalate tensions between India and Pakistan in the wake of the deadly terror attack in Pulwama by Pakistan-based Jaish-e-Mohammed. Meanwhile, India will forcefully raise the issue of Pakistan's support to terror groups during delegation-level talks between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Crown Prince on Wednesday. The two countries will also look at further enhancing defense ties, including having a joint naval exercise. Both the sides also expected to sign 5 agreements in the areas of investment, tourism, housing, and information and broadcasting during the Saudi leader's visit. The Crown Prince will be accompanied by a high-level official team as well as a large business delegation. PM Modi will also host a lunch in the honor of Crown Prince at Hyderabad House on Wednesday. The Crown Prince will also call on President Rajnath Kovind. And the Crown Prince is expected to travel to China from India. And hearing in the Kulbhushan Jadhav case at the International Court of Justice will continue for the second day today. On Monday, India urged the ICJ to annul Kulbhushan Jadhav's death sentence by a Pakistani military court and order his immediate release. India's plea came as the top UN court began a 4-day public hearing in the Kulbhushan Jadhav case on Monday. Now, making the first round of arguments, a former Solicitor General Harish Salve, who is representing India, based the case on 2 broad issues: breach of a Vienna Convention on consular access and the process of resolution. Salve said that no credible evidence was provided by Pakistan to show Jadhav's involvement in any act of terrorism, asserting that Pakistan is using this as a propaganda tool.
And finally, having failed in its propaganda against India as a feeble attempt to counter global criticism of its role in cross-border terrorism, Pakistan seeks to raise issues such as India's refusal to allow it to indulge in a freewheeling inquiry into high functionaries without even disclosing the fundamental elements of the alleged offences that are to be investigated and of passports that it allegedly has seized. It is India's case that none of these issues call for resolution and decision by this court.
Salve told the 15-judge court that India had sent 13 reminders to Pakistan for the consular access to Jadhav, but it received no positive response from the neighbouring country, which is in clear violation of the Vienna Convention. Salve also told the ICJ that Pakistan filed the FIR almost a month after the arrest of Jadhav.
India therefore seeks relief by way of declaring that the trial by the military court in Pakistan in the facts and circumstances hopelessly fails to satisfy even minimum standards of due process. And being violative of Article 36 of the Vienna Convention, it should be declared unlawful. Jadhav's continued custody without consular access should be declared unlawful.
Well, India and Pakistan have for 2 years stood their ground with regard to the Kulbhushan Jadhav case in the International Court of Justice. Now, Jadhav, a retired Indian Navy officer, was sentenced to death by a Pakistani military court on the charges of espionage and terrorism in April 2017. But according to Pakistani officials, Jadhav was apprehended on 3rd of March 2016 after illegally crossing into Pakistan from Iran. However, Indian officials say that he was abducted from Iran and was taken to Pakistan against his will. India first moved a petition in the UN seeking justice for Jadhav after being denied 16 consular accesses, alleging violation of the Vienna Convention on Consular Relations by Pakistan on 8th of May 2017. By 15th of May 2017, both India and Pakistan remained at a crossroads as New Delhi demanded the immediate suspension of Jadhav's death sentence, while Islamabad accused India of using the world body as a stage for political theatre through a misconceived plea. After repeated India's appeal for consular accesses, a small breakthrough came in November 2017 when Pakistan offered India a meeting of Jadhav with his wife on humanitarian grounds. On 25th of December 2017, the wife and mother of Kulbhushan Jadhav met him for 40 minutes at the Foreign Office in Islamabad. Now, the ICJ has set a timetable for the public hearing in the high-profile case from Monday till 21st of February. In midday news, time for a very short break. News and updates continue on the other side. Stay tuned.
Art arisen from a multi-hued cultural canvas. Tradition and cultural fervour dating back centuries. And encircling them all, there's a magic that awes. Embrace your nation's brilliant human warmth. Watch Colours of India, Sundays at 9:30 p.m. on Rajya Sabha television.
Welcome back after the break. Home Minister Rajnath Singh today launched an all-in-one pan-India emergency number 112, accessible through panic buttons in mobile phones. The Emergency Response Support System, or the ERSS, aims to help those in distress, especially women, so that they can send out distress signals and their location details to the nearest police control room by pressing a button in their mobile phones. ERSS has been launched in 16 states and union territories for women's safety. The users can dial 112 or use the 112 India app or use the panic buttons in their mobile phones to connect to a single number-based emergency service linked to police, fire services, health services and other helplines. Now, under this system, all the states have to set up a dedicated emergency response center. The ERSSS project was launched by the Ministry of Home Affairs and the Ministry of Women and Child Development.
SOS मोबाइल ऐप को भी डेवलप किया गया है, जिसकी सहायता से कोई भी महिला मात्र एक बटन दबाकर पुलिस को सूचित कर सकती है। अगर आपने इस ऐप पर अपने रिलेटिव्स को रजिस्टर कर रखा है तो उन्हें भी इसकी सूचना अपने आप पहुंच जाएगी।
And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that the government's commitment of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas is possible only with the upliftment of India's tribals. The Vice President was speaking on the occasion of the Foundation Day of National Scheduled Tribes Commission. He said that every Indian tribe has a rich and living cultural tradition, and it is our constitutional obligation to respect them. He added that tribals can teach a lesson in sustainable development.
हमें यह संतुलन बनाना होगी। जनजातियों के संरक्षण देने का नाम पर हम कहीं उनका विकास की मूल धारा से अलग ही न कर दे, उनकी नव आकांक्षाओं को संरक्षण का संकीर्ण दायरे में ना बांधे दे। कुछ लोग कहते हैं अरे उनको वहीं रहने दे, वही कोई जाना नहीं, उनको यहाँ आने नहीं देना। मतलब क्या है? उनको भी जनजीवन स्रवंती में लाना है, उनको शिक्षा देना है, उनको प्रोत्साहन करना है, उनको लाइवलीहुड अपॉर्चुनिटी सिखाना है, उनको स्किल डेवलपमेंट में परिधि में लाना है। उनमें जो ताकत है, क्षमता है, उसको हम लोग समझ के प्रोत्साहन करने के लिए प्रयास करना चाहिए। आवश्यकता है कि बृहत्तर समाज के परिवेश इन युवाओं की आकांक्षाओं, संस्कार और संस्कृति को सहर्ष स्वीकार करे। इनकी परंपराओं और आकांक्षाओं की अपने स्पष्ट विकास नीति में स्थान देते, तभी सबका साथ सबका विकास का संवैधानिक संकल्प पूरा होगा। वी हैव टू स्ट्राइक ए बैलेंस between protecting their cultural heritage and their urge and expectation for development. They should become pilots, they should become scientists, they should become actors, they should become doctors. That should be the aim. We should encourage them. And we cannot isolate them from national mainstream in the name of protection.
External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj arrived in Spain yesterday on the last leg of a three-nation tour. Sushma Swaraj interacted with the Indian community based in Spain and thanked them for their contribution in diverse fields and promoting India-Spain relations. Swaraj is slated to hold a bilateral meeting with her Spanish counterpart to discuss bilateral, regional and global issues of mutual concern. The Spanish government will also confer upon Sushma Swaraj the Order of Civil Merit for India's swift response in rescuing 71 Spanish nationals from Nepal in the 2015 earthquake.
एक बार भारत में जाकर अपने लिए संभावना तलाशें और कम से कम अपना एक पांव जरूर हिंदुस्तान में ले जाएं। यानी अगर बेटा यहाँ रहना चाहता है तो पिता जाए, अगर पिता रहना चाहता है तो बेटा जाए, क्योंकि संभावनाएं दोनों उम्र के लोगों के लिए, नए बच्चे के लिए भी हैं और बड़े बूढ़ों के लिए भी हैं। एक दावतनामा लेकर आई हूँ, एक न्योता दे रही हूँ आपको, जिस हिंदुस्तान को बरसों बरस पहले आपने छोड़ा। ये मैं PIUs से बात कर रही हूँ, पीपल ऑफ इंडियन ओरिजिन। लेकिन जहाँ तक NRIs का सवाल है, वो बाद में आए हैं, वो यहाँ की संभावनाएं देखकर आए हैं। लेकिन उन्हें भी मैं कहना चाहती हूँ कि जो चीज़ें या जिस क्षेत्र में आज आप यहाँ काम कर रहे हैं, वही संभावनाएं भारत में भी हैं। आप ज़रूर यहाँ रहिए, क्योंकि आप तो सब इंडियन पासपोर्ट होल्डर हैं और आज इंडियन पासपोर्ट तो सबका सुरक्षा कवच है।
And earlier, India and Morocco agreed jointly to combat the menace of terrorism. The agreement was reached at a meeting between External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj and her Moroccan counterpart Nasir Bourita. The two leaders agreed to set up a joint working group on counter-terrorism to develop a comprehensive approach to combat terror, including cross-border terrorism, terror financing, and the recruitment of terrorists.
मित्रों, भारत कई दशकों से सीमा पार आतंकवाद का शिकार रहा है। इसलिए आज हमारे मित्र देश मोरक्को के साथ आतंकरोधी यानी काउंटर टेररिज्म के विषय पर हुआ समझौता हमारे लिए बहुत अहमियत रखता है। इसी तरह व्यावसायिक वीज़ा को आसान करने वाला समझौता हम दोनों देशों के मध्य व्यापार बढ़ाने की दिशा में एक मील का पत्थर साबित होगा। हमारे बीच द्विपक्षीय कारोबार ये प्रदर्शित करता है कि दोनों देशों के बीच व्यापार वृद्धि की अपार संभावनाएं हैं।
The two leaders also discussed ways to enhance cooperation in areas including defense and security, trade and investment. The two ministers signed and exchanged 4 documents in the fields of counter-terrorism, easing of restrictions on business visa, housing and human settlement, and youth matters. Swaraj also handed over to Burita a letter from Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed to that country's king. And good news for all the sky watchers. According to NASA, today's full moon will be the biggest and brightest of this year. It is being called as the super snow moon and has been predicted that in India it will peak at 9:23 p.m. Indian Standard Time and can be seen using binoculars or a small telescope. The super snow moon will be visible from most cities. A supermoon is technically stated when the moon is at the same time full and at its perigee. Although the upcoming super snow moon will not be as massive and extravagant as the one that occurred in January, nevertheless, the super snow moon will most definitely be larger and brighter. And the day also marks the 5th bathing festival or the Shahi Snan of Maghi Purnima at Prayagraj Kumbh Mela today. A large number of devotees and tourists are reaching the Kumbh for taking holy bath on the occasion. With the bathing of Magh Purnima, the Kalpavasis will return to their homes. They will be the second largest contingent of the Kumbh to leave the Mela prior to Mahashivratri. The Mela administration has developed 8-kilometer long 40 bathing ghats for the devotees today. Elaborate security arrangements are also in place. Additional central paramilitary forces are also being deployed in the wake of huge rush on the occasion. International news now. News from the Maldives, where a court has ordered the arrest and detention of former President Abdullah Yameen on the charges of money laundering. Yameen, who drew the Indian Ocean island country closer to China during his rule, is accused of receiving $1 million of government money through a private company. He denies the allegations. After a 2.5-hour remand hearing on Monday, the prosecutor sought a court order to restrain the former president. The court ruled that Yameen, who appeared in person, should be taken into custody. The court has already frozen Yameen's bank accounts holding about $5.6 million, a decision that the former leader, however, has contested. Preliminary hearings in the money laundering trial is expected to begin this week. The Maldives is also due to hold a parliamentary election on 6th of May, with corruption likely to dominate campaigning. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Midday News. Thanks for watching.